Well, good evening, and welcome to Divinely Designed 21st Century Women. Today is December the 30th. It's the very last Monday in the year of 2024, and it is also the very last broadcast of Divinely Designed. So, having said that, we want to welcome you. Hello, Mrs. Hanson. So glad that you stuck to your tradition and beat us to the punch. But my name is Lindsay, and I am here with four of my friends. One more will be joining us in a little while, but I'm here with Geneva and Sochi, Tasha and Michelle, and we are also representing our friend Leslie, who is working tonight. And so we are truly excited and looking forward to being able to indulge in this earlier conversation. It's going to be roughly 90 minutes. And we were like, do we really need it? We don't know if we do. But what we do know is that our experience is that the conversation hits just that wonderful point that we want to continue. And every week over the last 3 years, we've had to say, well, we have to stop now. So we are taking advantage of that extra opportunity. However, if we run out of things to say, then we're done with it. And we will kiss you bye-bye, wish you a blessed, not wish, but release to you the blessings of a beautiful 2025 and carry on about life. But before we even get into that kind of stuff, I'm going to open in prayer today. And we will dive into, I think, an exploration of some of the things that we have planned and just enjoy the time that we have together. How about that? So, Father, thank you so much for this opportunity that you have granted us to become friends and to have insights and to develop ears to hear instead of to judge. I thank you for these women that have gone on this journey with me to discover things about what type of person am I, what needs to change, and what needs to continue on. And Father, I thank you that tonight we are going to listen for your voice, Holy Spirit, speaking through each other, through the comments, through the laughter, through all of the moments that we have. And we thank you, and thank you again for the women and the men that have watched this broadcast, for the insights, Holy Spirit, that you have given to us, for the prayers, for the seeds, for the kindness, and for the tender mercies that have been bestowed upon us. We praise you and we thank you for tonight's Kingdom of God conversation. In Jesus' name, amen. And I know that there is a problem with Facebook. The Kingdom First Facebook one was not working, and I don't really know what was going on with that. So we may have to send links to people and to do some of those kind of things, and as we go. And somebody found, what else are we not on? They were on there, but for whatever reason, they don't seem to be. So we'll try sharing them to the website. We have technical difficulties on our last night. Isn't that funny? So having said that, Crystal's going to be here shortly. And I think what we will do is just dive in. How about I start? And I'll start like this. I will tag anybody that wants to open the dialogue and things that you might have been thinking about since we have been here and all that kind of stuff. And then we can take it from there. How about that? So who wants to start us off besides me? Because I pray.
I'm going to start us off because I was actually very surprised. And I'm even hesitant to admit it. But last night, PL, Pastor Lanzane, sent all of us the closing for tonight's broadcast, this being our final broadcast ever. And when I watched it, I cried. I did not expect to do that. I'll just be honest. I mean, I've been looking forward to this night for months, looking forward to being free on Monday evenings. And it totally caught me off guard when I started crying watching that. Um, it was sweet. It wasn't sadness. It was, it was, I guess, a little bittersweet, but tender, one of those kind of cries. But I have to admit, it really caught me off guard. And I'm just curious if any of you felt anything when you watched it. Did you watch it? Am I the only one?
They don't
Anybody?
want to touch that one. Go ahead, Sochi. I think you're talking.
I did watch it, and I was more in technical mode, and so yeah, I was just more in technical mode. I thought it was very beautiful. I thought it was great that Pastor Lanzine was doing it, and just that she took it on to do it herself. And I thought, wow, I was like, this is awesome that she's doing it and moving through it. So it was, so I was more focused on that, and I didn't really have a reaction. I don't like to have reactions. Like I don't like to watch movies because I don't like sad endings. I won't watch. I just don't like it. Even like comedies, it's like movies usually have like this twist to them and they play with my emotions, and I don't necessarily like that. And so I keep away from it. And I think last night it was easier to just go and just stay in technical and not want to feel and just just enjoy what I can, and we'll see what happens. It's still early. And I don't like goodbyes either, so I'm not going to say goodbye.
Well, one thing you don't have to worry about is by the time I play the outro, we won't be heard. It's the final thing. So it's when you're hearing us already talk about good night, and we just started. But yes, it's going to be the end of it. So you're okay. I just wanted you to have the warning so that when we're backstage at the end of this thing, we're not all sitting there like toddlers. Okay, Tasha and Michelle, I'll leave it to you. Sochi, you're funny. I knew you'd be in but you were helpful in technical mode. I needed the technical. Thank you. I left Michelle's name out for crying out loud. There was a lot of little stuff.
I was in technical mode also. However, like seeing it's like reality set in. Like it was like, and for me it was double because seeing that and preparing for this broadcast meant that I'm leaving here soon. And I'm like, so yeah, it's that goodbye, Sochi. So it's like having this last broadcast. And as I let everyone know on our pre recorded Christmas broadcast, I let everyone know that when it aired, I would be here in Florida, and I'm here now. And so they're in the other room. And so I'm sitting here like, I know what this means. So it's that bittersweet moment that it's like, wow. And I wow for a lot of things, but it went by so fast. Like from the countdown when we began talking about, okay, we got 10 episodes left, 10 broadcasts. And it was like, okay, we were losing count. Okay, we have 9. We have what, 6, 5? What is it? Which, but it's here now. And it's like, what? Wasn't that just yesterday? Like it went by so fast. And I tend to do that deep inhale and exhale. Again, hi Mama D, hi Monique in the other room, and Ryan in the other room, and hi Tracy. Thank you guys for being on here. But it's, yeah, it's that bittersweet moment. So when I did watch that, first of all, I thought it was wonderful. That was amazing. But then on top of that, it's like such a reality check. Like, okay, we're here now. And we're going to be saying our temporary farewells. But it got to me too. It got to me too. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I did not watch it. Sorry. But I've been thinking about this all day today as I was working, just thinking about tonight's broadcast, and it doesn't seem real to me that, well, you know what, when I think about it, to me it's not goodbye. It's just, what's the next chapter? And how are we going to collaborate outside of this because of the bond that we've created with each other? So that's what I'm looking forward to. And, but yeah, I was thinking today, this week, I've been watching our video, our startup video, our montage. And I was watching the first one that we did because we did a revision of it when Michelle and Geneva joined us. I was watching the initial one, and I was like, oh my gosh, how much we've all grown and how much we've all changed and how much we've gone through together in this. And it's really been just a wonderful, wonderful experience, and just getting to know each other and walking through some very challenging times in our lives together, but also celebrating each other's victories. So it's just been beautiful.
Okay, well, here's some interesting things. As we said, we seem to be having our technical difficulty. So we're getting text messages from friends, and definitely do that. Just text us. We're fine with that. We know how to stay focused, or most of the time we're not talking. So we can text you back, and we want you to do that so that we can get these things out there. And by the way, please remember to like and to comment and to share this broadcast. We know that even though we're going to disappear for the season, as Tasha said, from Kingdom First TV, that there's that wonderful world called reruns. Dada, she found us. Okay. There is this wonderful world called reruns. So let's get into something that you mentioned, our beginnings, Tasha. And I caught sight of the introductory video, and I had thought about, showing some of those things, but I decided I don't want to do that. So, but I came across on the Dominion Unlimited Facebook page is where we were supposed to do the opening night or the night before or something like that, where we were saying hi, introducing ourselves, and we're introducing this broadcast, and we want to invite you to join. I'm looking at myself going, dang, you look good. It was like, that was almost 3 years ago. Apparently the very first broadcast was January 24th, 2022, I guess it was, whatever the year was. But it was actually January. So we have finished out and come, this full year kind of time here. But looking, and I'm thinking, yeah, you really do. The hair, everything was working, and I was at my regular size instead of, well, I'm almost there now, but still. And I'm loving all of that. But then I started thinking about all the hell I've gone through from the time that thing started to where we are today. And that person who was on the outside, the exterior, was just very, whatever it was that I was, exuding this come and watch our program, optimistic, but had no clue of the things that we were going to be facing. My point being, I'd rather be who I am today than I don't mind looking like that still, but I rather be who I am today than the person that recorded that first video all of those years back. Because the lessons and the journey that we've had, there's had to be a lot of stripping away of. It's so funny because they were false exteriors, but they were ignorant. Not how do I say this? It was like, wow, you really didn't have a connection with who you are. You did not really have a connection to who God is. You didn't know that you were walking in grief and mourning, and you didn't know so many different things. You were not self-aware at all. So and to be self-aware to me is to be spiritually aware of the self that I am. And so I am grateful, so very grateful for history, for being able to look back and then to be able to look at the trail that we're going, the path that we have taken since that time, and looking at the rest of us, remembering the pain that some of us were in. We've had the deaths of parents or friends, or we've experienced the death in the lives of other people that we're close to. We've had relationship issues. We've gone through so much over this period of time. Some of us, I remember I've said this more than once, that we were thought by some to be women that were on the hunt for a man. And it was like, actually, we're women that are kind of afraid to be in a relationship with a man, even if we wanted to be in one. We weren't sure. I mean, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but even though I remember it was Sochi and I were like, oh no, we want to do it. But at the same time, it was kind of like, but I don't know what that would really look like. And I don't know if men are trustworthy, and then you're meeting people and they're going through the same type of things that you do. And then there were all the predators that were out there and all the other kind of stuff. So honestly, this has been so much fun. And it is bittersweet, but I'm glad we're ending, because if we don't, we can't go into the next thing. And I do believe, as we said, we mentioned a little bit, hey, maybe we'll do a Where Are They Now in about 6 months. And I believe we're all in agreement, not if we don't have anything to show for it. There's no point in doing it if who we are right now is exactly the same way that we are in 6 months. I wouldn't want to do it, and I don't think any of you would, because it didn't show the progress and it didn't show the manifesting of the kingdom of God. So those were some of the thoughts that I had. And I, tag in, interrupt, do whatever it is. I have other stuff that I'll say in a little while. Donna Renee, also, thank you so much. And Miss Sheila Williams, thank you also for joining us tonight. We're very glad that you're all here. Thanks so much. Go ahead, Jenny, or whoever.
Sorry, I had trouble getting to my unmute button. I know for me, because when I was talking about being surprised by the tears and it being bittersweet, it's because it's not goodbye. I don't expect it to be goodbye, especially for anyone on the screen. And even most of the people in our audience, we connect with them somehow beyond this program. But it's the comfort, the familiar, I guess, that is causing me to be a little emotional. I'm not emotional right now, but you know what I'm saying. There's so much sorry guys, I've been somewhat distracted for the past week, and what I'm going to do is just what's on my mind right now, which is to give praise and honor to God, because quite frankly, people, it is a miracle that my parents are sitting in the living room behind me right now, alive and with us still today. The enemy has tried since the beginning of November to take my parents out, and he has failed at every turn. And this was just one more of his failures. But they both came down with the flu the week before Christmas and were both hospitalized for 4 days for mom and 6 days for dad. Dad ended up, after the flu, he ended up with pneumonia in one of his lungs. So the fact that they're home, they are in their 80s. They're not young whippersnappers. And God has seen them through this, and the recovery process for both of them that I have personally witnessed, because I am the child that is here taking care of them right now, is nothing short of amazing. And we serve an awesome God. And I just want to encourage anyone out there in this audience who has been discouraged. If God has a purpose for you, a purpose in you, he will see to it that that purpose comes to life. He will, if all you got to do is obey, just be obedient, and he will bring you through anything and everything that comes your way. So I'm just rejoicing and praising God, because I still have my parents here, and expect them to be here a while longer.
Amen. I rejoice with you. That is so wonderful. God is so faithful. And we praise God and rejoice with you. And we give God glory, honor, and praise for him showing himself strong all the time. I just love God. I love God. And also want to say again, hi to Cousin Hester, to Mrs. Williams. Thank you for joining us. And I also have to say that second hello from Monique was actually from my niece, Kayla, on her mom's line. So hi, Kayla. And so saying hi. But that also reminds me to even thank you all for joining with us the weeks, week after week, and sharing. You guys have been pivotal in our testimonies, our stories, the things we were walking out, and some of the things that you all said and you all shared. We don't just ask for your comments, like just to ask for them. Some of the things you all have shared have been so instrumental in different things that we've walked out. And you've continued to speak encouragement. And I can say definitely about Mrs. Williams. I haven't met her in person, but she is such an encouragement to me. I believe Mrs. Williams, you can say it there. I believe she lives in Mississippi, and she's when led by the Spirit of God, she sends me messages in the inbox, and she in Messenger, and sow seed into my life when the Spirit of God, I'm like, she doesn't even know me, and this woman of God is like really pouring into me. So we are so thankful for the interaction that we've had with all of you and you sharing. So even in that, like these times, and this being the finale, like we've become one, as far as we're concerned, as the women who you watched weekly, but and we're family, but we've also become family with all of you, beyond just friendships, because like it's been such a wonderful union, getting to know a lot of people out here. And I know I'm grateful, and I know we share the same heart, the ladies and I. So I know they are as well. And so we are so grateful for the things you all have shared with us. You've encouraged us. You've spoken into us. So I just want to say thank you to all of you who make comments, who share certain things, who have reached out to us in our messenger. We love you all, and we thank you for it. And please continue to do so. As far as like reaching out, messenger is still there, and we could still chat even after this final episode, because these things I believe are for life. And we can continue to pour into one another. But we are so thankful for all of you. So again, thank you.
Wow, that y'all have said such beautiful things. And Geneva, yes, praise God for having your parents and both of them. What a gift. What a gift. And as Pastor Michelle has mentioned, our gratitude to everybody. Am I in such agreement with what you all have said? Pastor Lanzine, I don't, the only thing is, like, I don't want to see any of my videos. To share my life, yes, but my videos, no, because I decided to grow out my gray. And so if we go back, we will start to see the pain I went through, which I know someone's going to pull out those videos in the future and try to ridicule me with it. And I'm okay with that happening. Like, they're mean people. I get it. Or I'm going to wind up seeing myself on Pinterest, what not to do with the big X over me, right? Like, I'm prepared for all of that. But I like where I'm at today. And I'm very happy that I grew it out and that you all had to cringe with me. I know it's not a beautiful sight, but but Crystal would not allow me to do anything else. She refused to do my hair. And Crystal's actually, I wish she was here, but yeah, Crystal was the one that was like, no, you just need to let it grow naturally. I'm like, no. And I actually tried to find somebody else and also got a no. So I gave in and grew it out in front of everybody. But besides that, the growing with me personally and who I am, and who I am now, and the growth that I've been privileged to share with all of you, because I am more private. And so throughout the years, I've learned to be more open, to be more trusting, and to share some of the pains that I've gone through, especially over the last year, with some different things. And it's been quite a growth to, that's Dr. Baker. Sorry about that. Apparently I forgot to put my phone on mute. Sorry. But yes, it's like being able to grow. And I thank you all for the opportunity to allowing me to grow, allowing me to share, allowing me to participate and to have you all put up with me. To get the bad and the ugly. You got the whole package.
I just want to jump in and say your salt and pepper is absolutely marvelous and beautiful. I love it. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
I know, Sochi, I'm hearing you and I'm thinking, what? I mean, I love your gray. I was admiring your gray. I'm like, wow, look at that beautiful, natural gray curls. It's beautiful. People pay a lot of money for that. A lot of money. Yes. But I love that, thank you everybody for allowing us to grow, to be transparent, and to be patient with us as we've learned through this journey in 3 years of what transparency is and how to be vulnerable and how to show ourselves even in the midst of, the trials that we go through. But, I'm with you guys and Pastor Lonzi, and I'm still letting go of things, but the awareness of self, I think, would be my biggest growth in this time, is to know me and understand the things that I'm going to move forward with, and things that is okay to let go of, things that hinder you in life, and it's okay. And to be honest with yourself, and to be honest with God, and be honest with others. And So it's been three. I mean, I just can't believe it's been 3 years. I just keep thinking, I cannot believe this has been 3 years that we've been able to share this time with everybody. But I just want to thank Sister Hester, Cousin Hester, for her humor, for your input, for your consistency, your faithfulness to be on this broadcast with us. And all you guys are just as much a part of this as we are, because it's been something that we've been able to share together. But Hester, Cousin Hester, your humor has really blessed me. In some serious conversations that we've had, you just put a one-liner out there and it would be so truthful and just so honest, but so funny. And it just really lightened things up. So anyways, I love you guys. And Michelle, I love your hat, by the way. Yeah.
You know what? I can believe it's been 3 years because I get my gold star for attendance. I was calculating this with Pastor Joe Henry last week because tomorrow is the last Kingdom of God Conversations broadcast. And that's also a broadcast that I've done for 3 years. And so I was thinking about it and I said, okay, 52 weeks, then it's 52 episodes per year. I never took off the time, and I never, what is that word? I never did a rerun. So we've never done a rerun, like they would say the best of, or a encore presentation. And we could never figure out which ones of these things were good enough to do an encore or anything. So we were kind of stuck. The closest we came to having the time off was doing a pre-record and, having those. And you were talking about tears. I don't know. I cry sometimes and sometimes I don't. But I know that because I'm also in Florida right now. And I had, I flew out the day after Christmas. And so I've only been here a couple of days and I'll be here another week. And Jenny's coming on Wednesday. So I get to see her on New Year's Day. And that's always fun too. And then there's vacation with my daughter flying out, a lot of stuff. But my point is when I left home on 26th December, and I was looking at the place in my living room where I did most of the broadcasts, because I have two stations. As those of you who've been in my house know, one in my living room and the other one's in my kitchen. And as I was leaving, I was talking to my niece and to my daughter, and I said, well, yeah, we can clean this up. And that was like, wow, wait a minute. We are getting my studio lights and all that stuff will still be there. Hi, Crystal. But the what do you call it? The setup itself is done. And knowing that I'm not coming home to the pattern of life that I've had for 3 years, every Monday, every Tuesday, every Monday night. And sometimes I was very exhausted. And there were a lot of different things that would go on, but it was like, I wasn't trying to win a prize. There's no prize given for that, to my awareness. And I wasn't trying, and I've never missed a day on the Kingdom Conversations one either. It's been the same thing from when it was a 30-minute and I had to do 2 every other week, to when I went to the 1-hour format, and then it was just weekly. But I believe that God puts a certain discipline in you to train you for something that you are to be prepared for in future. If you told me you have to do this and you can never miss, I don't know how I would have felt about that. But nobody told me from the outside. It was something that came from the inside. And I started thinking about the fact that I want my God to be that constant, and he is. He's never missed anything. And so I think one of the lessons that we learn is how much more we can do. And then you're meeting all these different people, as you all have mentioned their names. And, the cousin Hester, Crystal's cousin, but we started to call her that almost from the very beginning. Donna Renee is later to the party, but just getting to know her first from Zoom. And then now it's like, wow, here's another person we get to call a friend, Tracy Johnson, who is now a member of our church. But, 3 years ago, we didn't even know she existed. You see what I'm saying? Then there's people that we have had comments from other countries that come in maybe later on and stuff. And it's like people that we never would have met, individuals that we've prayed for. We want to say, I'm going to have my thank yous to the rest of what everybody is saying. because I think that's what God is telling us. Show up, because you're showing up for somebody other than yourself. And I'm going to be doing this more as we go, but I honestly thank you all for the fact that you were willing to do this at all. The funny thing is, of course, we've talked about before that Jenny, Geneva, and Michelle were two of our favorite people watching. And then one day it was like, why don't you guys come on? And other people might be looking to go, well, why would you do that? Because it seemed like the thing to say. We did not know that the Holy Spirit had you set up so that in our very last night, there's a panel of 6, just like there was on our very first broadcast. 2 of them are missing. One, Leslie, because she's working, and Anita, because she had to, it was her time to depart. But God was consistent. It was always about 6 women that were going to come together, and we're going to have these conversations. And he picked you all before we even knew anything about it. So seeing how well our steps were orchestrated, and you two have been very faithful. And I know everybody's gone through stuff. We've had, as we said, the things that have happened in our lives. It's a high price to pay. I don't know, most of you, like Geneva told me, she's taking down the camera, taking down the lights. Don't even talk to her. She is not going to do another broadcast, blah, 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 blah. And maybe the rest of you kind of feel that way too. But for me, it's a future thing. I don't know where, how, any of those things right now. But as we get into the talking about stuff like, this is my little what if book. And that's something that fell on the floor. Thankfully, nobody's going to walk around. But anyway, some of the things that are in there, all I know is that when it was crucial and when it was necessary, you ladies showed up. And that means everything to me. Chris, you have something that you want to say? Welcome. I'm going to start shifting us around a little bit now, but there we go.
I can say I made it. Oh my God, you should have just saw me trying to log on, get on. And I apologize for being late. Wow. I was listening to the conversation on the way here from work, and thinking about some of the comments my mom made when we first started giving me positive feedback from her point of view, And I tell you, which I didn't really think about, but I think we've all have grown. I mean, when I first started, I could barely speak, guys. I was trembling, okay? And now I can get on and not so much trembling, but I can speak in, hopefully you guys can understand me clearly. But I think we've come such a far way, at least for myself, I know that. And being able to really talk about issues and talk about our life and one another and do it without any hesitation, really just giving what God has placed on our hearts, So from that, I don't want to go back to those old videos either. But we're here now, okay? And we're moving forward, whether we're on a program or we're not. I know all of us are going to move forward with great things in our life. How can you be a part of the kingdom of God and not, right? I mean, at least that's what I believe. And Soshi, I heard you talking about your hair, but look at it now. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. And if you would have done the other thing, it may not be there where it is now. So I'm so glad you didn't get that other person either. They backed me up. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. It looks really, really good. I don't know what those I do remember some of them. But you know what? You've done, I mean, look, everyone, each one of us, it's been what, 3 years? The first 2 years, it seemed to me like it went by fast. This last year, I know you guys were saying it went fast, but not for me. I thought, wow, because we as we move forward, and I don't know, I believe this is true in life. You just go through more things, more difficulties. And I'm going to say, each one of you ladies, whether I talk to you personally or you text me or whatever, I know you have my back. And I don't know how many people can say that, but I'm so grateful to be able to say that. I'm so grateful to be able to just do life with you, ministry with you, and, you know, fun things. Even like when we went away, my God, who can say that? We had a great time. Not all of us were there, but we made room for everyone to be there. And even when you weren't, you still got a chance to be a part of it. You know what I mean? God opened so many doors for us, and it was just, I'm grateful to be able to, that he chose me to be a part of it. So I'm here, and I'm sorry I'm late, and I see so many people on, and welcome everyone. Gosh, I was trying to get my mom. I don't know if she's on. I said, this is our last program. You have to be on. I'm calling her out, y'all. Miss Diane, where are you? No. Thanks for joining, Cousin Hester. I just got to see her not long ago, so it was nice being in North Carolina, back in California now. But gosh, guys, this has been like a whirlwind, I think. You know, we started at one place, we ended up at another, and I think all of us have matured out of all of it. We really have. Even those that are not on here, we love them. They mature with us some of the way, right? And it's just good to be able to be a part of this program. The last program, I was going to make sure I was here. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but I am here now. So I'm going to pass it on to the next person.
This is unvarnished. You can, if somebody else is unmuted, you can do that in a minute. I want to say hi to Andrea Smith. She's some of the pages are not showing up in our documents, so we're all kind of monitoring one or another. I'm on the, I don't know which one I'm watching on, but I think she's watching us from Dominion. So Andrea, you another one that has grown so beautifully over the past couple of years since we've had the opportunity to get to know you a little bit. And thank you. She's, if you come into my house, I have a piano in my living room, and you'll see this painting that she did with these 5 lions. I mean, it was one of her first ones that I knew about, and I was graced to have one of those. Geneva is going to bring my other thing with her that you sent me like a year ago. She'll be bringing that, so I can tell you a proper thank you for that too. I haven't seen it yet. But you're another one. There's so many of you. You've reached out to us. I don't think people know this. So one of the things we can talk about, something that happens behind the scenes a lot of times, is we'll get those messages. We'll tell you to messenger us. And some people do, some don't. And if they know us on Facebook, they may connect with us personally. And what I think is beautiful about that is that we've had the opportunity to have exchanges and conversation with people, again, that we don't personally know face to face, and yet they have come around, and you know which ones that you get the opportunity to pray with, or they send you something that helps you out, or there's just something that's there. And I just think that is so terrific. I think one of the things, though, I'll come back to it in case somebody else wanted to comment after Crystal, but it's just that we have so many things that we can share, and we can only give you snippets. As I will point to this one, even though we're going off the air, there's enterprises that we started when we were talking last year, specifically about business and how we would start to move on. And so many of you have heard us talk about being in North Carolina, in the house that Sochi had great favor with the company she worked for, and one of the individuals that she did business with owned a number of homes, I guess, on this property. But we stayed in this house that looked better in the pictures than it did in the reality, except that it had a massive, amazing kitchen. And watching, 8 women or so in that kitchen doing the stuff that you did. I think, dessert, coffee, and I washed dishes, because I was like, all these cooks, I am not. I'll clean, but I'm not cooking. I didn't even want to. Oh no, I did make the bacon. Yes, that's right. But anyhow, we have that type of thing that we're looking at. Okay, how can we do it better? How can we help you to come out with another product? There's one part of me that is business oriented, even though I'm more creative in a lot of the things I do. But it's like, so how do we help you to replicate or to duplicate? How do we help you to have your money have babies and start to grow more money and do those kinds of things? So you can stay tuned, and please, I know that you all are aware of our Divinely Designed, is it our Divinely Designed group, Facebook group, I think it is, that we have. We're not getting rid of that. And Geneva is the one that actually monitors it more so than anyone else, because I'm kind of trying to stay off of Facebook too much right now. However, there are things we'll be announcing. Michelle's book, which is coming out in January or February, right? Within the next, I think, 6 weeks or so. Michelle's book is coming out, and I mean, it's coming along beautifully, and we're working on some stuff like that. And we've got other clients whose books, once the Dominion Unlimited publishing company or our editorial services finishes up, we like to showcase the books. Sochi has other projects that she's working on, and she'll be able to give you updates. Crystal is looking into other stuff. Latasha's looking into other stuff. Michelle's looking into other things, and Leslie is also, she's got all kinds of amazing projects and ideas and things to know about. So we are not going away in terms of things of that sort. And we love the fact that you want to keep it. We are just assuming that you do want to keep in touch with us, because we do have exciting activities and things of that sort, getaways. I'm going to do more with teaching people the basics of publishing and just all kinds of really cool stuff. And some of our other contemporaries, they do things. I'm learning how to do voiceover and stuff. And Donna Renee is going to, she's the person that's teaching me. I'm going to learn how to enunciate properly and do all the things that I need to do with my voice and things of that sort. I could be interrupted at any time. I just want you to know that. So I'll just be quiet and then just leave it open for someone.
I'll jump in. You know what? As you were speaking, I feel like it's a graduation. I feel like we've done our years at the university that God has allowed us to go to. And it only took us 3 years rather than the 4. And yet we're graduating. And just like any regular university or college that people go to, after they graduate, they embark upon different things in their majors and different areas. But during that time, you make friends, you get close to people, you do all these things, but then it's that time where you receive your degree and you move forward into a new place in life. And you don't forget those you went to school with. You don't, you stay connected, even though you may move to different places or just do different things. And that's what it feels like to me, that where we've gone and studied, and God has brought us through a lot of things and taught us so many things. But now it's time to receive our degrees in those areas where we had need, where we majored. And so now we're receiving those with our names, and God is launching us into new areas. And like we all said, we don't know the fullness of what that entails, but we know that it's something great, it's something grand, and He is leading us in those areas. So I'm thankful for that.
You know what? It's funny because on this program, we have laughed, we have cried, all of us. I mean, we have gone through some stuff, had attitudes, got them corrected. I mean, just on and on and on. It was truly sister experience. I mean, got stripped in front of folk. Had to get redressed. I mean, come on, really, we have. And and even, got put in our place a lot of times, and we had to take it and grow from it. I mean, we did. Come on. Am I right? You don't know about that, Pia? Right. Oh my God, I can't believe she said it. But you know what? Through it all, I don't think I'm glad I was a part of it. I wouldn't have wanted to be left out. You know what I mean? It was okay. It was okay. There was some days it didn't feel okay, but it was okay. There you go. Hester says stripped and redressed. I love that. Exactly. Oh man.
Well, one of the things, by the way, since you said that, is especially I'm glad you said you didn't want to be left out, because this started with you and Sochi. I mean, it honestly started with, I've told the story before, but I will say it again. It really started because I was teaching I had taught in our church a class called Kingdom Conversations. I would just change the name. It was Wednesday night Bible study, but I would just keep changing it and changing it. So it had come to the iteration of Kingdom Conversations. And we would come to the end of that. I think I was going to come up with something else. I don't know. But it was like, you need to come back and do it again. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I was thinking about it and talking to them. Were you at my house that day, Sochi? I'm not really sure. Because I know we were, at least Crystal and I were sitting at the table in the kitchen.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, I know what it was. Is we were having a business meeting, and you guys were telling me, because you were helping me to do certain things with Dominion Unlimited, and were telling me that the Sanguine part of me could not do business because I was just like all over the place. Oh yeah, everybody's
you're giving too much away.
I'm giving away a lot. Yeah. Anyway, that's another whole story. Okay. We won't go there. No. Anyway, and so we started talking about this. I said, well, do you guys want to do it with me? And they were like, I can't say no. I don't know what to do. Yeah, sure. We'll see if this thing can get off the air or off the ground or something like that. And that's how I started. I said, well, we need more people. And it's like, who should it be? And you know what? When Jesus said, you have not chosen, what the Father chose the disciples, he didn't choose them. God chose them. It was the same thing for this. It was God who chose the different people. Latasha came to mind. We had experience with her and watching her really, because when you flow in ministry, you are so beautiful to watch. And you are also a tremendous blessing, Tasha, in terms of the breakthroughs and the things that happen with you. And so we had seen her, and also it was Anita and Leslie. Leslie wasn't ministering. Leslie wasn't doing anything. God just said Leslie needed to learn how to break. That tiny little package there, she can be very stubborn, as she knows. And I'm not saying anything about it that anybody that ever watched her wouldn't know. And so that's how it started. And then the idea, and as you said, your mother had to give us some very definite pointers because it was so awkward. It's so painful. And for me, as much as I talk, I actually don't talk. And so trying to get people to talk, it was like, and we're go, and let's do this, and here we go. And I don't create a TV persona. This is me. If you see me off stage, you're going to see the same person depending on which aspect of myself I want it to be. But that's how it started. So thank you, Crystal. I'm glad you weren't left out either. But that's how it was. Okay, I'm muting again. Yeah.
And we had a lot of dead moments. Like we didn't know, like our timing was off. But we've gotten so much better. I'm telling you guys, I could listen to a whole broadcast without going, ooh, somebody feel it. It's just, just remembering to me is fun. It is. It just, you got to find the joy in it. If you can't find the joy in it, then why'd you do it in the first place? So it's just, and even when Ryan said he liked my laugh and just different things, Jenny's voice and oh my God, the voice.
Well, how come nobody can ever remember what we talked about the week before?
Yes, that's another thing.
But it also seemed like we were playing hot potato. He's like, you talk, I'm done. You talk. He's like, you go.
Or somebody save me. Somebody go.
Is this what she meant by dead air? Yeah. Or somebody, when somebody say, I don't want to touch it. That was so
The other thing is that we never pre-scripted any of our programs, not one. Maybe that was part of it, but we never did. We never did it. It was like truly genuine. Whatever came out, that's what it was. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but that is true. What'd you say, Soshi?
Or what didn't come out? Like those times where I'm like, I'm not talking about this. Nope, I have nothing to say. I'm shutting down. Stop.
And that was usually when we were talking about men, because it was like, yeah.
I was done. I was tired of the topic. It was like, just get off this topic already. I have nothing to say.
Look, I'm still waiting for somebody to take me to dinner.
I don't want to talk about business. I want to talk about nothing else. Let's just talk about business.
No, see, that's part of ministry, though. We were also letting women know. I'll tell you when I went to a New Year's Eve, no, Christmas Eve party. No, it wasn't a party. It was a get together. And a friend of mine from back in the day, he reached out and asked if I wanted to come with him over to, I've known them both for a long time. And he asked me if I wanted to come over there with him. I said, sure. So he picks me up. We gone over. And I was the surprise guest because the guy wasn't expecting me. So it was like, nice to see you. It's been probably 10, 15 years since we saw each other. And I had a ball, meeting the other people. I was like, I don't even know. I must be really sanguine tonight because I'm very, very friendly and, open and whatever it is, maybe too open, just earnest, just sharing, that kind of stuff. But as we were leaving, he was like, you need to find yourself a man. It's what he told me, the other guy, the man whose house we were at. He said, it'd be interesting to see you in a relationship. You need to find yourself a man. And I turned around. I said, I'm already found. They were like, hey, what's up with that? I said, well, because it is written, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It don't say nothing about she who hunts down a man and gets them. So I have to be found. Thankfully, nobody asked me to name anybody, but it was just like, I'm found. Okay. I don't know how found is, but I was found, but I'm not hunting. And so it was the thing that was wonderful about that, honestly, was that at one time, even though I've known these men for years, I would say 25 or so years. And one of them is actually my daughter's godfather. And I crushed on him for years, in fact. But the healing, the wholeness, and a lot of that had to have come from the dialogues that we have had, the experiences. To be able to laugh and to not even miss a beat. And I meant what I said. Okay. It's not written anywhere that she who hunts down a man will gain the favor of God. I found him, Jesus, something like, or, ooh, yeah, that'd be my boo right there. He don't even know your name. So it was painful. So, I agree with you to have to talk about that. And it was painful to me to have people looking at us like we were chasing after something or advertising, can be had for a song and a dinner. I'm still waiting for dinner for real, but I'm not waiting for dinner, if that makes any sense. If it never happens, I don't care. I know how to make dinner, etc. But it was the laughter and the enjoyment of the fact that I'm free. That, I think, is one of the things that we contributed by going through the painful. And you had attitude like I've never. She's not kidding. And so, did anybody ever feel sorry for me having to deal with y'all? No. You feel sorry for you for having to deal with me.
I was about to turn that around, but you did it for me.
I admire your attendance and your dedication. I really do. And you have the gift of bringing up conversation, because there would have been a lot more dead air time if I was in charge, because I would just stop. But you have the gift, you have the ability to bring sometimes very difficult conversations, and you knew which topics we didn't want to talk about and where we needed to grow or we needed to break, and you'd bring it up anyway. And I said, didn't I tell you I don't want to talk about that? But I do. I want the focus is, yes, it's like, I really honor you and admire you for having the loyalty that you've had these 3 years, to not have missed a day with both your programs, and always moving through those awkward moments where we would shut down or we'd go through our attitude, and you still love us and just keep going. And it's like, and put your hand out and say, okay, come on. Are you going to come, or are you going to stay back there? And I thank you. I thank you for you being you. And you look gorgeous, and I love your blouse and your hair. And it's like, what a beautiful way to end. So thank you. So yes, I don't remember what word you said, but it's an admiration. It's an admiration for what you have done all these years. And even last night, working on the outro and going through, using your time to give us the beautiful ending that we're going to see later. So thank you. Love you.
I want to jump in and say, thank you as well. And Cousin Hester, that, yes, absolutely wonderful. I really feel, I don't want to say feel, but it allowed us to have conversations that most people shied away from. They didn't want to talk about, even because we understand that there are conversations that the church may not want to discuss. And so the introduction of, this is what kingdom living is. And as being divinely designed women, it introduced a life and a lifestyle that this is how we actually are supposed to live. And when there are the times where there's the disagreements, or there's some correction that was done, and the things that the crying, the laughter, the I don't want to talk about it, or we're going to talk about it anyway. Those days, it let people see, and I'm so appreciative for it, because it taught, even though I was the one in the group at our entrance that was married at that time, and I was the only one until this year. But even in that, it allowed people to see, okay, there will be bumps and bruises, but you're not going to stay down with that bump or that bruise. No, wipe it off. And as my husband jokingly says, put some Mercurochrome on it and get up and move on. And so it's things like that. Like, it taught us, and it allowed people to see that though you may have those situations that happen, come on, girl, get up. Come on, we still have work to do. We're still called by God. Wipe them tears. You may have them, but wipe them. Let's go. And because a lot of times it's not revealed. People don't reveal that side. They want you to act as if you got it together and always have it together. And that's just not a reality. And so I appreciated this broadcast so much that even when we weren't apart, you talked about stuff that, people didn't want to talk about, even during the dry spots, or the pauses. Okay, who's going to take it? Who's going to unmute? But even in that, it allowed people to, see it. Some people have shows that are called Real Talk, and it's not really Real Talk. But without the title, that's what this was. And so I'm grateful for it. And it was always our prayer, even for those of you who joined with us, would see that even like we were learning as we shared. We weren't sharing from a place of we know it. We were walking this thing out. And so, but I'm grateful for the vision that God had given you to be able to do this and carry this out. And you carried it out, let me just say, because I'm telling you, some of them days, like, especially for me, some of the days, like even during tax season, the way I talk, this sister girl was just worn out. And I was like, I'm not doing it tonight. Not tonight. I can't hang. And it was like, I wasn't making perfect attendance. It just wasn't going to happen. But you held the fort, and so we applaud you. And blessings to you, abundant blessings to you for always holding it down. We appreciate and love you so much. So I say thank you also to you.
And
I can do that now. I don't know if it shows. Yay!
I just want to say thank you too for the challenges, Pastor Lanzane, to challenge us to show up to the party always. Yeah, to always show up to the party. And gosh, the challenging conversations where you just feel like you're in the hot seat. Where I don't want to talk about this, but to challenge us to be able to, I don't know if everybody out there knows how painful that was for us individually. We all had our moments where we're on a topic where we just don't want to talk about it, but yeah, we were really learning how to speak from a place of victory and not as a victim at times. We were challenged with that. Remember that? We had to totally shift, okay, no more of that. We're coming up higher, and these are things that I know I'm going to carry with me. I'm still practicing. I'm still, and I notice how when I'm with a group of people, how I listen differently. And this has really helped me with my communication in my own personal life and how to be what real transparency is. But to get past the phony fake. And I know there's times where I still struggle to be honest, but I can hear myself when I'm doing it. I can hear it. And even though I know it, it's like, okay, I'm struggling through this moment, but at least I'm more aware of where I'm at, where I can locate myself and just say, okay, I guess, okay. But also I know my sisters here will let me know as well. And I want to carry that on, and I want to be that for other people. What we have here is such a blessing. It really is. And I just hope that those that have consistently watched us and that you guys are doing this in your own spheres, in your own circles, that you're teaching men or you're teaching women how to walk through kingdom life together, because this truly is kingdom culture. And to take this and don't just let it end here tonight, but that we move forward with the impartation. This has been an impartation to each one of us. This was such an honor. Really, it really is such an honor to be on this panel. I'm so thankful to have been chosen and to have gone through all of this with every one of you guys. And Sochi, that inviting us to North Carolina was absolutely positively changed my life forevermore. And oh my gosh, just so much. My life is so different than it was 3 years ago. And I'm so excited to enter into 2025 and with so many tools in my tool bag, to be able to move forward with. And it's been wonderful to build with you guys and to build with this audience.
And let's go back to awkward silences. Just to remind you all what it was like in the beginning.
Don't even try it.
Oh, goodness. Sorry. It has truly been, I've never had problems being, I think, honest and transparent with people. Sometimes it's too much of a problem because I just overshare. And that's why I avoid situations with people, because I know that I will do that kind of thing. There have been many times over the 2.5 years that I've been on this program that one of you will say to me something, about that was really deep, Jenny, or whatever the comment is about something that I've said. And I have to be honest with you. 10 minutes later, I don't know what I said. It's that much off the cuff. Like Crystal was saying, it's not rehearsed. We have not scripted these ever, any of them. There are times when you might see a look go across my face because I've just said something that I realized I probably should not have. But it has been, and we've called it this numerous times over these past years, referring to it either a quest or a journey. Because the biggest thing about this for me personally, and I think for each and every one of us, is we understand that the kingdom of God is not a place. It is a lifestyle. But it was a lifestyle that none of us knew really how to do, how to live it. And so I am thankful for each and every one of you and your willingness to stumble through this together over the past 2.5 years, because that's what it's been like sometimes. Our audience would not disagree with me. But yet at the same time, through it all, we've all grown and matured. And sometimes just saying those words feels awkward because it's like, have I really, but yes, we really, really have. If we go back and look at some of those early programs and compare them to where we are now, we've absolutely matured. And I think for some of us more than others, I'm on the bottom end, but we're even beginning to see the evidence of fruit in our lives, because the kingdom lifestyle is something that we are pursuing, actively pursuing, and that is the reward for doing so. And so I'm just thankful to have had this time with each and every one of you and with each and every one of the people that are in our audience. I love you. You each hold a special place in my heart. There's a few of you that I have not had the opportunity to meet yet, and I look forward to that day because I know it will come. And not showing favoritism or anything, but especially our adopted little sister, Monique, because she's our adopted little sister. So I know I'm going to get to meet her one day.
Yeah, we get to meet her next week. No, this week.
Is she going to be with them too? Oh, you didn't tell me this, so you didn't say that.
Well, we like to keep mystery in the relationship, for crying out loud. Can you guys believe we didn't think? So she sent a note. Why do we need to be early? I mean, 90 minutes. What are we going to do? Ladies, we are 14 minutes or so away from the end right now. And we always have something to say. And it was, I don't know that we hit a gushy point where we were like, oh my gosh, we're all into this dialogue because we've been bouncing around a lot. But I think the remnant thing is so much fun. I'm going to let you in on something. I've told you this before, but I don't know that anybody believe me. I found a lot of those conversations hard. I found a lot of the topics that I was bringing up very difficult. And I didn't want to talk about it either. So we're going to do this was less for you and more for me than it was anything, because I would sense this thing from the Spirit of the Lord. No, you've got to break through. And since this is the purpose of it, finding a thing where I could sit around a table with women, basically, and talk about the things of God and talk about the things of life, find out where the mixture is and get rid of it. How often do we sound like women of the world versus women of God? How often have we taken the earthly, sensual, devilish, low frequency wisdom and thought that was the way to be? That's why it was great to talk about men. It was to talk about marriage, to talk about children, to talk about life as it was, or really relationships, because I'm very relationship oriented. It was necessary to do that, to discover things about self that I didn't know. So it's funny because, we would talk about, it'd be great to meet somebody and to marry. And I found out I'd rather just be in a relationship for a while because I've never been in one. I went anyway. Most of mine were secular. So no, there was no mystery. It was, let's get to this, And by the way, what is your middle name? So that was more like the life that some of y'all got that. Some of you are like, I didn't understand a thing that she said. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyhow, even in Christian circles, it was more like that because it was all about the Lord has called us, or some kind of stupid stuff. But the discovery I've even made now that far from wanting to just rush to marriage, I'd rather be in a relationship. I'd rather find out what the person is like and let him learn me and let's get past all those little parts that are kind of like, dang, you really like that, because I think that stuff is important. But it was also that way with friends. Do I want you to be my friend or do I not want to be, wow, dang, you cost a lot of time to be and every single one of y'all, the most high maintenance women I've ever come across in my life, other than myself. And I'm just one, but you all together, the cluster of it all. I'm not even frustrated. I felt just like there were times that if I was drinking, I would. The heaviest thing I had tonight was sparkling grape juice with seltzer water. But if I was to be driven to drink, y'all still wouldn't get to, I wouldn't let you have that place in life because I won't be driven to drink. But I'm telling you, you are so worth the fight. That's really what I want you to know. It has been hellish sometimes. It has just been to the point, it's like I wear a size 8.5 shoe and some of them pointy-toed, but I ain't putting your juice on my shoes. You get that? So that's just not going to happen. But if I was going to kick somebody, I'm not prone to violence. I will talk these things, but I will not carry this out. But yes, you have been very frustrating. You have been very problematic. And these are the things I was like, I'm not your dude. Why do I have to know these things about you? I think it's so that I could be one of the people, and you've told me this as well. So this comes back to me too, because you're worth it. Sochi, you are worth fighting for, as are you, Geneva, as are you, Tasha, as are you, Crystal, you, Michelle, and Leslie, and Anita as well, because she was, here as well. You are worth the fight. That's what I want to tell you, that as we go forward, as the other stuff starts to happen, there will be those that don't want to do the work. Well, you're worth it. That's really what I have to say. And I'll be quiet because, like I said, now I'm going to cry. My God, no, I'm not. We're coming very close to the end of the thing. So let's do our roundup so that we have some time.
I just want to say one thing. I caught something that my cousin was saying. She said that she wasn't hunting, but she was found. So I want to congratulate her on her engagement. Woohoo, Esther! Congratulations. I don't know when the wedding day is, but congratulations. I'm sure I'll find out. Not putting you. Oh my gosh. But just want to say congratulations. And it's been, gosh, you said we're worth it. So are you. You have been a blessing to us. I mean, outside of this program, you're my pastor and my friend and my sister. You're so many things in my life. And I'm not going to cry because I know that can't happen. But what I want to say is thank you. Sincerely, thank you. This has grown me tremendously. I mean, really, it has. And I so appreciate each person on this panel, each one of you guys. I love you. Thank you. Jenny.
My eyes darting around. Is anybody moving towards their mute button? I echo those sentiments because this truly has, as frustrating and annoying as it has been at times, and all those negative things that we look forward to being over with after tonight. This has been such a pleasure. It really has been a joy just to be able to be on this journey with all of you for the past 2.5 years, to have grown in our relationships with one another and to have grown in our understanding of what it means to be a citizen in the kingdom of God. And so I am so very thankful. And I just look forward to seeing and hearing about what comes next for each and every one of us.
My turn. Is my heart's desire to be able to see what everybody does next. Everybody here that we have on video and all the wonderful people online that we've been able to comment with and share life with. I really look forward to seeing some of you in person. Hopefully everyone in person, but really continuing to share where we're at, what we're doing, and be able to continue to celebrate. You know, hold our hands out for each other when we're down, when we need it, when we think we're alone, when we're going through those tough times, that there's so many hands that are right there if we just look. And so you have our hands, you have our heart, you have our prayers. And I really have enjoyed all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, those moments of growth. And I thank you all with all my heart, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your life and allowing me in and sharing so much, and the hugs and the beautiful wishes all goes right back at you. Thank you. And I love you all. And yay, we did it, 3 years.
My goodness, I don't want to do this. Oh my gosh, this has been the most wonderful, and it will be one of the most memorable 3 years of my life, honestly. Something the Lord had told me, and I didn't quite understand, but he had told me that you'll never do anything alone again. When he connected me to this house, there'll never be a day where you do something alone again. And it has been so true. And okay, I'm getting choked up. But I will say that with my sisters here, sisters, with my sisters here, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to walk through learning about kingdom culture, learning how to be, and the frustration of all that that came with it. What is it to be? How do you become? All those things. But oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just, we have to keep walking through together. That's what I commit to do, is to continue our relationships and to continue submitting things one to another, and being purposeful in keeping connected and walking through together. So, and just thank you everybody that's out there that walked through with us. This has been absolutely wonderful to share the journey with every one of you guys. And gosh, I just can't believe this. I can't believe that's it. To be continued. Right?
Absolutely. It's another wow for me. Like, and looking at, I tend to regularly look at uh, the live clock, and I'm just sitting there looking at it like, whoa, like it's counting up, but for us, it's counting down. And so it's like, it's unbelievable. But it's, my mind is just like just anticipating as well what we're moving forward into, knowing that each of us is launching into something new. So I feel so. I don't know. Again, we talked about the bittersweet earlier, but it's like an excitement. Also, the anticipation of, okay, God, what is next? Because whatever is next, God, we're willing to move forward into that. So, and it being synonymous that even though the way things had been going, it was a likelihood that we could have ended halfway through the year. But you encouraged us to, press through in order to continue to the end of the year. So now that we're here, it's like, it's so momentous, if I can say it like that, and looking forward to, okay, God, whatever it is you're doing. And again, I resound congratulations to you, Cousin Hester, with that, and the fact that you shared that with us. You've watched us walk out our lives. And even though we did not know and we didn't need to know the personal details of your life, here it is, you're stepping into something new at the same time. That is just magnificent. That I take that as what God is doing, even for all of us in different ways, because the same way you're embarking upon newness now, the same thing is happening with us with the transition in from this broadcast. So even though we're speaking about us, those of you out there, I just it's resounding, and it's for all of us. The same way we're ending this particular time, this age and dispensation of this broadcast, there's something that's ending for you. And it's a good thing, because you're transitioning into something new. Um, and we declare that it's a wonderful thing, because that's who it is that we've been heralding and announcing, that in this kingdom walk, the true and living God. It's not because of our own good, but because of Him. So I look forward to, and even as Lonzine shared, that page will still be up. Share it with us, those of you who are on Facebook. I know my mother-in-law, she's not, but I will be chatting and like we normally do, but announcing the celebrations and things of that nature. Please continue to share them with us, because we love to hear what God is continuing to do in your lives, just like He's doing in our lives. Thank you so much for being a part of our life. We love you all so much. And not just by word, but we sincerely love you and thank you for walking this out with us. Abundant blessings to you all.
So for the last time, I am in agreement with what you said, Michelle. I want to remind you that you can visit www.love-unity.org and you can check out the things that are happening on the Loving Unity movement. Loving Unity is the sponsor for Kingdom First TV, of which we have been a part of. We give a special thanks, and some of them are in the credits, and we're out of time. So I want to say this very quickly. Thank you for everything. And my friends here, my co-host, have all articulated it beautifully. All I can say to that is, yes, I'm in agreement with them. So we are at that time where we're going to tell you goodbye. We also want to let you know how precious you are, that 2025 is going to be an amazing year. And I'm going to read just this part very quickly, and it figures we're over now, but I'm going to go fast. We have talked through the years about a what if and the possibilities, and God bless me and bless my friends and surprise me, Lord, and all that. But I wanted to say what a what if is, and to get to the other side of it. It's very simply, a what if question is an articulation of the possibility. And it is that you are to imagine the possibilities. So the next phase, and this is why I'm saying the next phase of a what if question, which is where we are now, is to look to see. It is having vision, to question the question of what if. What does this possibility look like? And to have an understanding, the reason I'm thinking about it is because it really does exist. The possibilities already exist. You're going to use your imagination, but think of it differently. And this is what we are doing as we move into the season. Imagination is not making something up. It is seeing what already exists and bringing it forth so that others can also see. We had an opportunity to use our imagination. What if a group of women got together? And this is what one of the pictures of that looks like. You've been a part of that, because it also meant what if others would want to watch it as well, and then tell somebody, and then tell others. And that is what you have done. You have helped to make one of our possibilities come true. Prayerfully, we've done the same for you. So as we look at the pictures that the Spirit of the Lord wants us to see, let's posit the possible. And let's make it happen, because that's what it means to be a part of the kingdom of God. So for the last time, on behalf of Leslie, and also on behalf of Sochi and Geneva, Crystal, I am going to cry. Michelle and Dasha, my name's Lindsay. It has been our honor to be your friends for this time. But we're going to tell you goodbye now. But we do want to remind you, and we've even put it in writing, always remember, please, that you have not been just designed, but you are really and truly divinely designed. Have a blessed 2025. Prayerfully, we'll change enough to see you again. God bless you. Thank you all, and bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First TV, your station for kingdom inspiration.